Okay, so the next part we're going to talk about is the equations of lines. So the second video here is equations of lines. You can write it in two ways. You have slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. This is your slope. This is your y-intercept, which is also known as 0, comma, y. When your x value is 0, that's your y. The x-intercept is the opposite. So if you had the x-intercept of a graph, you plug in 0, plug in 0 for x, and that would get you your x-intercept. X-intercept is not really needed for slope-intercept form because it's just written off your y-intercept or where you cross the y-axis. Then you also have point-slope form, where you have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. x1, y1 is just the point you go through. The other thing when you're writing equations, let's review from Algebra 1, is parallel lines. Because we could just give you slope, but then we can also throw curveballs at you about parallel lines and perpendicular. Based on geometry, perpendicular lines, they intersect to form 90-degree angles. So these are opposite reciprocals. Meaning if you have m, the perpendicular slope is the reciprocal. This is over 1. You flip the fraction, you get 1 over m, and it becomes negative. So example, if you had 2, 2 is perpendicular to negative 1/2. Negative 3/2 is perpendicular to 2/3. Parallel, there's not any math that you need to do. It's the same slope. So if we ask you to do any line equations, we ask you to do the same slope. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a really hard example, and then I will follow up with a third video with a few more examples. So the first example we're going to do is we're going to write an equation. So we're going to use slope-intercept form. So I need to write it in slope-intercept form. It passes through the point of 3, negative 2, and it is perpendicular, upside down t means perpendicular, to the equation y equals negative 5x plus 1. So the first thing that I would do, let me zoom in here, I apologize, is what is my perpendicular slope? So if I have negative 5 is perpendicular. Okay, I need to flip this because this is over 1. So I get 1 over 5. It was negative, so it becomes positive. So this is my m, okay, or my perpendicular slope. So now I have my slope and I have this point here. So I'm going to use point slope form. So I start with y minus y1 equals the new slope that I just got, 1/5, x minus x1. This y1, x1 comes from the point I need to go through. So my y value, so y minus a negative 2 equals 1/5 times x minus 3. Don't need to do anything here to simplify. I will simplify here. I get y plus 2 equals 1/5 times x minus 3. Now, if I did not have to write the equation in slope-intercept form like the problem asked me to do, I could be done right here. I don't have to solve for y or anything, which is why I love point-slope form. But in order to get into slope-intercept form, I need to do some math. So I am going to solve this equation for y, which means I'm going to start here with distributing 1/5 to both parts of this parentheses. So y plus 2 equals, distribute through, 1/5 x. 1/5 times x is 1/5 x, and 1/5 times -3 would be -3/5. Okay, I'm going to subtract 2 because I need to get y by itself. Y equals 1/5 x. -3/5 minus 2. In my calculator, I can do it. I do not have that on me at the moment. So -2 in fifths would equal -10, because -10 divided by 5 gets me -2. So -3 minus 10 would be -13 this. And this would be my new answer.